This is cold.
Yeah, well, I should have come down early for it then, shouldn't you?
Morning. Where's Cynthia, anyway?
She's going to be a bit late, I already told you.
I forgot.
You weren't listening.
Can I make a suggestion?
What?
Why don't you get yourself off to the haulage office?
What for?
Well, there's bound to be a stack of paperwork building up.
Oh, nothing urgent.
Only trying to help.
Well, if you want to help, keep your bright ideas to yourself. And make some more coffee.
Just got in.
Yeah,
You all right?
survive. Do you want me to make a start on lunch?
Well, as it's lunchtime, I'd say the answer was yes, wouldn't you?
Well, I thought you were going to go and visit Zoe.
No, we're not now.
How is she?
Well, why do you want to know?
I was just asking.
I don't want to talk about her, all right?
Right, OK.
There's too many people in this village. Like, nothing better than running this family down.
Yeah, well, I'm not one of them. I'm not going to badmouth your family. I know what it feels like to be on the receiving end. I've put up with all sorts of rubbish in my time, but I've always stuck up for me and mine.
Have you finished?
This morning, I could have throttled our Letitia. I mean, she makes me that angry sometimes, but I'll never give up on her. And no matter what she does, I'll never be ashamed of her.
Meaning?
Meaning that if Zoe had a broken leg, you wouldn't be embarrassed. But you haven't set foot outside of this house, have you? Because you're scared about what people might say about her.
She had no right to speak to me like that.
Yeah, well, I've had a word with her. She's got a lot on her plate at the moment.
Oh, and I haven't.
Look, she said she's sorry. It won't happen again.
Better not.
She's got a point, though, hasn't she?
She knows nothing about Zoe.
Yeah, but her ex had a similar experience.
Can we just change the subject?
You know, you're just like my Uncle Zach.
What?
When he had cancer, pretended it wasn't happening. He had to face up to it eventually, though.
It's not the same thing at all.
Yeah. Do you want a drink, sweetheart?
Nothing.
What about a chocolate biscuit?
That's not like you. Something the matter? Joseph?
Hey, look, I'll tell you what, why don't you go and watch a video? Happen you fancy a drink later on, eh?
All right.
What's going on?
You were a bit weepy in the car. I think some of the kids are giving him a hard time.
He's been bullied.
Well, it's more what they said about his mad auntie burning the church down.
What are you doing?
I'm going to call the school. They told me this would not happen.
Yeah, and they're probably doing their best, but it's not going to go away. You just have to learn to live with it.
He has a right to go to school and get on with his education.
What, rather than sitting here hiding at home?
She's got a point.
Joseph's gone out. It's time you did.
Can I say something? Ashley's holding a service tonight at Village Hall. Why don't you go?
Oh, I'd love it if I turned up. Wouldn't they really give the harpies something to talk about?
No, there'll be lots of folk there who are sorry for what happened.
I don't need pity.
I've had bricks thrown through my window just because of who I am. But I've never given up, and I will look anyone in the face. I thought that we had that in common, you and me.
Looks like a good turnout.
What do you expect? Good excuse to gossip at our expense.
You have such a low opinion of people, Chris.
With good reason.
Eric?
Chris, how's Zoe?
It's too early to say.
Ah. Well, when you see her, send her our best wishes, will you?
Thank you.
You'd think they'd have the decency to stay away after what Zoe did.
They don't know the meaning of the word. Rotten to the core, a lot of them.
There's something wrong. The woman was clearly deranged.
You're not going to let them two bother you, are you?
Nobody's forcing you, Chris. If you don't want to go in there, then we won't.
Just give us a minute.
Thank you for coming.
I'll be thinking of you. Good luck.
You know, if I can use my influence, I will.
Yes, Gloria said.
At times like this, people need leadership, don't they?
Come on then, Eric. I want to find a good seat.
Ashley, if there's anything I can do to help, you will ask, won't you?
Thanks, Ray. Good evening.
I'll look out for both of them for you.
It's Kirk I'm worried about, really. I mean, what sort of influence is Kane going to have on him?
Not much if I've got out to do with it.
I wanted to shock her, you know, bring her to her senses. I thought she'd be knocking on my door this morning saying she was sorry.
She's stubborn, just like her mum.
Why can't we get on? I mean, she's 18. We should be able to be mates. I shouldn't have to nag her all the time.
It's all part of being a mother. I'll see if I can get through to her.
I love her, and I'd do out for her. I mean, don't she know that?
Of course she does. Give her time. She'll come round.
I hope you're right.
Ashley should have turned them away from the door.
Hiya, glad you've made it. I'll save you some places.
I'm surprised you dare show your face in here.
Yeah, well, we've got as much right to bear as anybody else, you vindictive old crow.
Take no notice of her.
We don't need a rebuilding fund. If he had any principles, he should pay for what his loony sister did.
Shut up, Viv.
I'm only saying what everybody else thinks.
Yeah, well, I could say a few things about you and yours. Where would you like me to start?
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you all to this rather unusual service. I imagine that, like me, you're still trying to come to terms with recent events. The church plays an important part in all our lives. It's where we name our children, get married, say goodbye to our loved ones. It's also the place we turn to in times of trouble.
Or when we've got a guilty conscience.
But the church is much more than just a building. It's a faith, a coming together, a recognition that we can't get through this life on our own. That's why we're here in the village hall, to find comfort and support. By reading Psalm 121, it's on page 530. Comfort and heal those who suffer in body, mind, or spirit. In particular, we think of our friend Zoe Tate. There will be those who seek to condemn, to judge, and to blame. But you, Lord, can see into her heart. You see there a troubled spirit, someone who suffers terribly, though she bears no wounds. Someone who needs our help, our understanding, and above all, our love. In her torment and pain, help us to find the strength, the compassion, and the humility to give her that love without question. Lord, in thy mercy, hear our prayer.